It's been a minute and a half since we've been here for our Milwordy updates, but it has been so crazy. I don't even know where to begin in telling you all of the things that have happened. But basically, I got back from visiting my brother in San Francisco. I did an update with you guys about the awesome concerts and taking Polaroids and all the inspiration in the airport and all that jazz. And then I got really sick for about a week, and it was just a sinus infection. And I had doctor's notes and everything. It was just a sinus infection, but it felt horrible. I felt worse than I did when I had COVID. I have some underlying health conditions, and I'm guessing that is why it was exasperated, but it was really not a great time. And then, as soon as I started feeling better from that, my friend came to visit. He's a truck driver, and he was just passing through. And when he does that, he'll stay with us for like a dinner or the night or night and into the next day. And it's always like a really short trip because he's working. Well, we had a great dinner. We did a movie night and we just chilled. It was great. But the next day, he and my boyfriend dropped me off at work, and then we're going to drop him off at his truck. And they noticed that it was leaking something other than oil, or some kind of oil that is not normal. Not that leaking is ever normal, but like a bigger issue. I'm not a tech person, I'm not a car person, I don't know. So they called his work and they called a repair shop. Repair shop wouldn't even accept him until 8 a.m. the next morning. So he tells work, hey, I'm really sorry. This is something I'm concerned about. I don't know if I'll be able to get to my next stop or not. Here's the info I do have. What do I do? So he stays with us. We get the truck to the shop at 8 a.m. the next morning. And they take literally all day to look at it. They don't call him back until the next morning. And they say, hey, it's going to be a few days. We have to special order parts. It is a really big issue. We're really glad you brought it in. Like, you would not have made it to your next stop. There's just no way. So he stays with us for almost 2 weeks. And we love him. It's great hanging out. But he obviously is really concerned because he's out of work for 2 weeks. And he's getting breakdown pay, but that's not the same as being on the road and doing the actual work and like all these things that he already does. So in that time, I am working and we're hanging out with Nico, and we are going to museums, and we're going to the lake, and we're doing all these things. Then on Friday, which is usually my day off, I teach Blue Jay Nest, which is a fabulous poetry workshop that you can still join. And then I have the rest of the day off for family and religious reasons and things like that. And Nico and I decided to bike, and he has an electric scooter, and we were going to take them to the center of our little tiny tourist town. It's not far at all. He's like, hey, try out my scooter. And I'm like, okay, but my bike is really tiny. Are you sure? And he's like, yeah, we're so close. Just try out my scooter. And so I do. And it's not made for people my size. It's made for people his size. And the brake is a hand and a half width away from the handle for my hand. So I don't brake in time. And I fall. And I fell really badly, and I messed up both of my hands. I don't know if you can see it with the compression glove on, but this pinky is now like out of shape, or like it's not straight like it should be. It's kind of curved, probably because of the way I fell. And I still have some scrapes on my hands, which is why I have them in gloves, and my hand doesn't like close like normally anymore. And so it's been really hard to write and to do things, and like even that display for you guys, my hand is on fire. And so I went to work. My hand was swollen and bruised and ridiculous. Like, it was really, really bad. But I went to work and I was like, hey guys, I think I need to be on register today. I couldn't even write date dots. Like, picking up a pen for a few seconds was really hard. So I did register, and I'm trying to get into a doctor and all these things. And my shift goes by, and I come home and I'm sobbing. And it's not Nico's fault at all. Like, it's not his fault. It was just a really bad fall. And it's not like I tried to fall, it just was crazy. So now I'm having trouble with work because I can't work and I can't get a doctor to document the things work wants them to document, but clearly I can't use my hand. And I also can't write, not in a normal way. I can't type. I can't pick up a pencil and write like I normally would. So I'm doing speech to text for Milwordy, which has been efficient in the fact that I am on day 8, and I haven't even written today, of NaNoWriMo, and I am at 46,000 words. So speech to text has been awesome, but it is so far outside of my realm of what I'm used to, out of what I enjoy, out of the process of writing. It's a very different headspace. It's a very different routine. It's been a learning curve. So everything feels stagnant and on pause, and like I can't do anything, and it's really driving me nuts. Thankfully, we have tech working again. As you can see, I'm back on my laptop. I'm in my usual writing space, which is surrounded by stuffed animals and blankets and cozies, and I am just comfortable and ready to write. So thankfully, we've got the tech working. Thankfully, I found a way to get words in. It's just not my normal method. Thankfully, I am okay. I'm just not in stellar condition. Like, my hand still really hurts. I can't even make myself a cup of coffee at home without sobbing. Um, and not that that's a laughing matter, but like, what else do I do? So I've been putting a lot of time into Milwordy. I've been putting a lot of time into watching TV. I've been putting a lot of time into audiobooks, and finding the strength to do this YouTube video with you guys, because it's just been insane. It's one thing after another, and now I can't write in my usual way. But that brings me to something I wanted to say. If you join me on Patreon, there are updates. I missed a few days because of some emotional things and trying to like get into a better headspace and whatnot. But there are updates for most days. The goal is all days of November, and they're snippets of what I'm writing and what I'm working on. And you can support for as little as $1. Your support is especially appreciated this month after all of the insanity and going into holidays and things like that. And if you decide to stay into December, the goodies that you'll be getting in the mail include a handwritten letter, provided I can write. If not, it will be a speech to text letter, but the sentiment is still the same, and it's a letter, and I would love to handwrite it, and I'm hoping I can handwrite it. And a bookmark and a custom postcard poem. If I cannot write it, I will tell somebody else what to write. Like, I'll have it typed for them and I'll have them write it, because that's my favorite thing about postcard poems, is like that authentic feel, that travel memoir, that the tactility of them. So that's where we're at. And then if you stay into January, which of course I would be eternally grateful either way, but if you stay into January, you'll get first dibs at being on my podcast. You'll get discounts on any of my books that are already out, as well as any that come out between now and then. The only one that is supposed to come out between now and then is the 2024 Blue Jay Prompt Journal. Obviously, given the state of things, I cannot guarantee that it will go to print as it is supposed to and on the right timeline, but I'm really hoping it will. I am hoping that it is close enough to completion, that getting it uploaded and getting the information in will be as smooth as possible. And it's not being printed that I'm worried about, it's being finalized and formatted the way I want it to be before it goes to print that I'm worried about. But it will still come out in 2024. It just may not be the timeline that the last 2 years have been. And that's kind of where we're at. I'm going to be streaming more on Twitch. In fact, I'm going to be streaming later today. And you won't get to hear what I'm writing, but you'll kind of get to see what my process is and how I go about that. And you'll get to write if you want to write or make progress on whatever you want to make progress on. So I'm going to be streaming more. Patreon is a thing. Milwordy is actually more than on track because of the speech to text. I was able to catch up from all the time I've missed. And we are 11% of the way through the year, and I am at 12% of my words for the year to hit that Milwordy goal. So there are some positives, and there are some really cool things. There are just also some really stressful things. And I'm doing the best I can, and I hope you guys are doing the best you can. And if you are working on anything, it can be 1,000,000 words in a year, it can be NaNoWriMo, it can be progress on drawing every day, it can be any sort of project that you're working on that you want to share progress with. Tell me what you're working on, tell me where you're at, tell me what you need to feel successful, because I believe in you and I know you can do this. And I genuinely thought, even for me, I was too far behind for Milwordy, and here we are, I'm caught up. So that's really good to know. That's really great for a feeling, and I'm now even a little bit ahead. If I can stay ahead, then that's really great. And I appreciate you guys for hanging out. I hope you're doing well. I am going to flip over to show you my Milwordy tracker and to do some closing out. But yeah, it's been fabulous talking with you, working with you, hanging out, all the jazz. Okay, so we have For the Words, and I've been doing a lot of quests. My quest log is full, well, almost full as always. I just turned a couple in. I'm already at 10,792 words for today. Compendium, you can see, oh, that's the wrong thing. Game history. You can see I've been hard at work battling monsters and turning in crazy amounts of quests. And this is my Milwordy spreadsheet. So we are 11% of the way through the year. I am at 12% of my writing. I am not writing every day, which is kind of funny because normally I would. Last month I did 75,674. So far this month I'm at 46,000 and some change. We've got general poetry, NaNoWriMo, camp, National Poetry Writing Month, camp, my 24 prompts journal, which I think I'm just going to restart because I am no longer in the spirit of the challenge. The purpose was to write using the same 24 prompts over the course of 24 hours, and then over the course of 24 days, and then the course of 24 weeks, and there would be breaks in between each one. Clearly, I have not written 24 days in a row, and I did have to stop, so probably will pick that up again at another point. And then I'm also logging reflective poetry and my prompt journal project, and this 854 that you're seeing is just since we started Milwordy. There were plenty of words in there already. I haven't actually looked at the line chart. The purple is my writing, and so we're a little bit ahead, but we have been way, way, way behind. We've been on track. We've been in a lot of different spaces. And then this is whether or not I'm on track for each specific day. So that's really interesting to see. And of course, I'm doing my best. And then, of course, we have our NaNoWriMo tracker. And so far, obviously, I am way, way, way ahead. But I'm trying to embrace the spirit of still writing every day. I still want to finish the projects I said I would. And I'm still putting my all into it. I'm just speech to texting, which is very, very different for me. And yeah, that's where we're at for now, and that's how things are looking. And if you want to join me on Patreon, you totally can. And I didn't address this, but if you're waiting for my next Substack newsletter, I am working on it. I am currently logged out and locked out of Substack, but that should be coming to you as soon as I can get in. I appreciate you for hanging out. I hope you are doing well. Like I said, I can't wait to hear about all of your progress. And thanks for tuning in yet again. Have a great week, and we'll be back next week with another Milwordy update because now that I've got everything put together, I should be able to do these weekly. Bye for now.